So, by my reckoning, this is the 60th part of this series. So I thought I'd do something a little special. So I went to Dubai. That's right. I went here solely for the purposes of recording this episode in an exotic location. This is totally 100% true, I can assure you. So, let's continue, shall we? Without further ado, so Master Hand just gave Chris some thingamabob that allows him to travel between worlds, I think, or something stupidly helpful. The teen gulped and took out the controller from his pocket, examining it just by looking at it. "It was never my intention, anyway. Just tossing it out here to remind you," the Hand said, watching the human putting the controller away. "And another thing before I leave. The clothes you have on are magically tied to your current job. You can, at will, remove them using your thoughts, and you will change back to your ordinary clothes. Try to bring some normal clothes while you are off duty, though. Or just keep changing clothes for any other jobs you may obtain in the future. They get clean automatically whenever you switch jobs." "What a convenience," Crazy Hand gingerly said. Okay. "That's all for now. While you rest, I'm going to ponder a little more about how things will play out for us in the long run," Master Hand said as he closed the door with a finger. "Good night, team. Tomorrow is another day." The door closed shut firmly, and the Hands had floated away into the lit hallways as the lights turned off for the night. Alone, the duo was speechless. It was not until an hour later of silence, after Chris had undressed a bit and rested on his bed, that Lucario, leaning from the left side of the bed, looked over his right shoulder at his trainer, wide awake and staring at the ceiling. They haven't spoken for an hour? That's weird. "You haven't said a word or fallen asleep yet, Chris," Lucario spoke. "You're one to talk," Chris said, looking away and depressed. "I know. I had sensed how troubled your aura felt like ever since we started talking to Master Hand," he pointed out. "No matter the brief smiles, you were hurting in the inside." Ellipsis. Lucario looked worried. It hasn't been easy for you, I know that much. It wasn't easy for me despite my power." "Yes," Chris said, turning back to Lucario. "We were both taken off guard during one single moment, and everything just went to hell when we got separated. That taught me how the situation can turn dire in a single moment." He sniffed once, prompting Lucario to raise his right hand and place it over his trainer's chest. "I can't believe I was this close to dying and I couldn't do anything about it. I was so afraid, Lucario. I knew for sure that one moment I was going to—" "You weren't!" Lucario interrupted to keep him from breaking in tears, even if Lucario was starting to shed tears, being unwillingly forced to think of that bad outcome. He kept a strong front as he looked at his trainer. "It didn't and never happened because I went to rescue you. While I'm alive, nothing, no one will be able to kill you, Chris, so don't lose hope." I can't. He's not very good at writing, like, sort of, tender emotional dialogue. It just sounds really cheesy and forced, frankly. The teen sniffed and grasped Lucario's hand over his chest with both hands, barely able to cover it. I have to do something quick to be able to defend myself, you know. The fights ahead of us will get harder with time, I know that. I have to be able to keep up with you, or just 1/100th of what you have in power." "I believe we both lack skill. Power is hardly an issue," Lucario said. You are an astute person, Chris. I have the physical power to destroy anything." Well, let's be real here. You're pretty fucking overpowered, but... at the end of the day, if you fought, the entire population of the world at once, you'd probably fucking lose. We both lack what the other has. Can't we try to combine out strengths? I think it's meant to say our strengths, but it, This isn't like a Pokemon battle. I am also in the fray.
Regardless, it is something we must do together,
The Aura Pokemon said.
You helped me countless of times in your world. Now it's only right I do it for you here.
Please tell me we're not becoming sparring partners because I would...
No, nothing of the sort. I haven't had a chance to properly decrease my power with all the unusual chores in the house,
Lucario said, perishing the thought. That's a nice mangling of that phrase.
I meant while on a battle.
On a battle, okay. Well, that's easy then, Chris said, cleaning his eyes. I would stick on the back and you would defend me from the front while staying close. Lucario nodded and smiled.
That right there is a start. I'd be your shield and sword while you provide support, he said. Honestly, I feel stronger and more focused just knowing I'm protecting you during a battle.
And naturally, I feel much safer with you. Chris had a small smile on his face and grasped Lucario's hand tighter. You're the only reason I haven't gone insane.
We just can't function right without the other. I blew up a base because you weren't around.
Lucario chuckled.
I so need you.
Her voice broke a little bit there.
Master Hand is lucky I didn't wreck this building without you close by.
Chris chuckled next. Oh, please, stop trying to justify your destruction because of me. You're not a wild monster from the forest. I thought you were trying to cheer me up instead of trying to find an excuse to blow up stuff. In 2 seconds, Lucario growled and quickly got on top of the bed. Oh, damn. His hands and knees supporting him above a shocked Chris. Lucario minded the spike on his chest from giving his trainer a severe poke of death. A severe poke of death. Okay. What are you doing? Chris asked the Lucario with a serious expression mixed with the smile.
I am a wild Lucario from the forest. You are my prey.
Lucario spoke darkly, or rather a fake dark tone.
I am hungry. I must eat you.
Oh, they're fucking role-playing. This is... this is getting a bit risque. Jeez. It's rated T for teen. Should probably be higher. He was surely fooling around, Chris thought. And Lucario... Oh, maybe he is actually going to eat him. I don't know. Jeez. You know, he's pretty fucking crazy. Maybe he'll just suddenly decide he wants to kill Chris. That'd be a rather dramatic turn of events. What was it? He was surely fooling around, Chris thought, and Lucario hardly ever did anything like that. The teen was a little wary all the same. Okay, well, I'm not sure I'm enough for your belly, he said. Lucario narrowed his eyes.
Sure you are, but first I will have to neutralize you with my only effective technique. Squirming prey is never fun while eating it. Gah!
He lunged his snout to the right of Chris's neck and vigorously tickled him by way of rubbing. I'm so pathetic for laughing at that. Trying to push Lucario away was impossible due to his super strength playing a huge part in the attack. There was nothing Chris could do but laugh loudly as the beast kept on going with his nefarious attack.
Foolish human, you are more resistant than I imagined.
Lucario spoke between his attacks.
I can keep this up for
all night long if I have to. I give up. Please, I give up. Chris laughed.
Your mouth says so, but not your feelings. I am not satisfied. Gag!
I can't keep going with this shit. Lucario was doing the rather odd attack just to cheer Chris up faster. The Aura Pokemon wasn't used to doing anything like it before, but he felt compelled to do it now, of all times, when his trainer was very depressed. Now that he was crying tears of joy rather than teats of sadness. I think it means tears of sadness, but it doesn't say that. Teats of... Let me just try and get that. I can't really see it because I've fucked up the camera. Maybe the 6 people who will ever watch this will be able to tell me if it says teats of sadness. Well, no, it does. Will they be able to see it or not? Chris's only worry was how to get the beast off the bed because it was... Oh, damn. Because it was proving to be too hard to budge him. As his tail wagged with no chance for Chris to see it, Lucario kept on growling and tickling him mercilessly for about a minute. This is like sexual harassment, I think. I don't know. It's kind of weird. I don't know what to make of it, really.